So what does the target system hardware look like? Okay, specify all server and network applications configurable. So if you have a website, it's not only going to be your web hosting, it's going to be your web DNS, it's going to be this, it's going to be that, it's going to be Google, it's going to be, there's so many things, but you got to list that out. And then the next question, this is another one, listen up, listen up. What is the application workload mix of each system component? For example, 20% login, 40% search, 30% item select, 10% checkout. Do you see where I'm going with this? So you need to plot down exactly what's going to be tested. Logging in 10%, logging out 20%, looking at profile 5%. So you need to go and plot down what's going to be the most usable, or what is going to be the most out there, right? Another question, what is the system workload mix? Multiple workloads, maybe some simulated in a single performance test. And this is another one. For example, 30% workload A, 20% workload B, and 50% workload C. Always work to 100%, right? Of course. So that is kind of going like, what is the most important workload? What is the system workload mixed? Will it be system workload A would be the engine to actually log someone in? Workload B will be something to search on your website, right? So you see where the whole testing questionnaire comes in. Like you can't do this whole testing, setting performance goals category or department without doing a proper testing. Another question, listen this up. What are the time requirements for any or all the backend batch processes? Specify peak versus normal or nominal. So you gotta find out what is your peak. How are we gonna determine what is your peak, right? So that is important. What are the time requirements for any or all backend batch processes? Specify peak versus normal or nominal. So that is in essence, looking at questions to ask. So what is the performance? What user interface gets involved? What is the target system? Where? What is the application workload mix? What is the system workload mix? What is the time requirement for any or all backend batch processes? That's minimal questions that you can ask, right? There's so many questions, and working on a scope, which is in scope and out of scope, you'll definitely get your testing going, right? So it's important to always remember that, okay, there's different services out there. There's different programs that can be used to get what you want. And there's different goals that you can set out to make sure that you can reach the initial and or total goal of getting your website tested, which is most important, right? So in the next video, we're going to have a look at prerequisites of performance testing. Okay, so what do you need to start off with the whole testing thing? So this was setting performance goals and performance architecture and performance engineering performance testing, software engineering performance testing. That's the word I was looking for.